Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. I'm your host Edika Nobut. This is Isaac News, and here on Isaac News, our job here is to bring the news to your doorstep as touching good things happening in Nigeria. And today we want to talk about the Imotta rice mill that was recently commissioned in Lagos by the Lagos State Governor, Governor San Olu. I hope I didn't butcher his name. This is the largest rice mill in Africa and the third largest in the world. So as I often say, Nigeria, we have a big syndrome problem, which I think is good for the most part. Then it's bad in certain ways. We like doing things big, big. We like doing things. We're big people, over 216 million currently, the largest black population in Africa, the largest black people on earth, and we are a big people, so we tend to do things, in a very on a massive scale. But this is the third largest rice mill, the third largest rice mill in the world. What comes to mind? What else do we have in Nigeria that's the third largest in the world? Mm, Dangote refinery. Yep. So Dangote refinery is the third largest refinery in the world. The Imotta rice mill, located in Lagos State, is the third largest rice mill in the world. And as I speak to you, this rice mill has already been commissioned, and videos are circulating everywhere, showing the whole automated system of bagging the rice and transporting it, and many other things involved in the whole rice production process. And it's so beautiful to watch. And as we speak, they're already selling the rice. It's called Eco Rice. Has a green nylon, has a green bag. It's already being sold across Lagos for customers, and this has brought joy to the people of Lagos. And this is also coming at the time where rice is currently being sold at about between 45 to 50,000 naira for a 50 kg bag of rice, and this is quite high. This is quite high, and a lot of the reasons behind the hike in rice is due to the flood we just came out from. So we had massive flooding in October of this year that affected about 33 out of the 36 states in Nigeria. So about 33 states were affected. Okay, and a number of these states were, the rice producing states in Nigeria, and a lot of rice was washed down the drain due to flooding. And it was already being forecast as at 2 months ago that this would negatively impact rice and rice production in Nigeria, and that we're going to experience a price hike as we enter the festive period, and we are now living in it. Rice currently is costly. About 50,000 naira is the general price of a 50 kg bag of rice, which is too costly. Okay, it's too costly. And I recently came across a video where the spokesman for the president, in the person of Femi Adesina, was giving remarks as to why the current price of rice is quite high. And he was saying that it is because of the middlemen involved in the whole rice chain. Okay, so typically middlemen are those people who go to meet the mega factories. They're the owners of warehouses. Middlemen are the owners of your big stores, your very big stores, that supermarket that you can compare with ShopRite. So those are middlemen. So they go and they buy rice, or they buy products in large quantity, in wholesale amount, and then they come and they retail it to the final consumers. So the middlemen are, according to Femi Adesina, are the ones responsible for the price hike. Coupled with the fact that we just came out from a flood period where the country was covered, a good chunk of the country was covered in water, and this affected many cash crops, rice in particular. And being a country that is heavily dependent on rice, rice is staple food in Nigeria. It's the most common meal. It is what we eat. We eat rice more than any other thing. So and we're, like I said, we're a lot, over 260 million. That's a lot of people eating rice, and I think Nigerians have very big appetite, so we can eat it voraciously. So too much talk, please. Back to business. So this rice mill is coming at a time at a time where we're trying to battle the current rice price. So this is the third largest rice mill in the world, It's located in Lagos State, and it is supposed to it has a production capacity of about 200,000 tons of paddy rice yearly. 200,000 tons will amount to about, that's a lot of that's a lot of rice. So, like I said, excuse me, that does not even account for half of our daily rice of our sorry of our annual rice consumption in Nigeria. So, but this would help. It would help a long way in the sense that it would ensure steady supply of rice to Lagos in particular, which consumes a lot of rice. Lagos has an annual consumption of about between 2 and 3 million 50 kg bags of rice a year. So the rice mill would properly serve Lagos. And being that it is situated in Lagos and not in the north, which most of these rice mills are located, I personally believe that it would help reduce the maneuvering by the middlemen, being that these things can easily circulate into the Lagos environment and reach the common man at a very, very affordable rate. And this is where technology comes into play. I really trust, I'm really hoping that we as a people, we can transition and make good use of technology. Imagine that the Imotta Rice Mill now has a website and has maybe connection with maybe Amazon, or connections with Konga, or connections with Jumia. So I can sit in the comfort of my home and order a bag of rice, and probably Jumia may be selling it for let's go back to the former rate. The former rate of rice was about 37,000 naira, and even back then there was still middleman interference. Let's presume that Jumia can give me that same bag of rice to my doorstep for 35,000 naira. Now, if Jumia were in partnership with some of these big rice mills and rice factory, these guys would take it down to um, Jumia warehouse located at strategic locations in the country, and then I place an order on Jumia, or by the time Amazon kicks off, I place an order on Amazon, and this thing is shipped to my doorstep for 37 naira. The presence of technology would force the middlemen, which we cannot do without, to equally try to see how to peg their prices at a rate that is close or parallel to what these our tech giants are offering. So properly, if technology had properly invaded the marketing sector with these goods, it would compel people. It's the power of competition. Competition compels people to offer reasonable prices, being that if they want to offer something outrageous, their competitor will benefit from their greed. So you get, so the lack of penetration um, and technologically speaking, in the whole circulation of goods and services, is causing a lot of hitches in the whole agricultural sector. Okay, and we're hoping that this would happen and happen as soon as possible. But back to the rice mill. So the rice mill is a large one and will be supplied mainly by farmers in the north and by other very huge rice production companies in Nigeria. So because of what was going on, the Lagos state government took it upon itself to train over 500 farmers, and also support them with spray stacks. So spray stacks are basically the instruments needed by farmers to spray their farms. Maybe to herbicides to make weeds not to grow, or insecticides to kill insects, or just basically the basic things needed by a farmer to ensure maximum production. They're also given access to high yielding seeds, rice seeds. They were given access to rice coats and other things they needed to ensure production. So, being that is a very large rice mill industry, it needs a sustainable supply of rice on an annual basis for it to meet its annual capacity. Like I earlier said, it can produce about 24 million 50 kg bag of rice a year. It cannot do that if the supply of rice is below expectation. So this is why the government had to train a lot of farmers, which the training is aimed at helping them increase their production so as to ensure sustainable supply of rice paddies to the factory. Now, the factory is not necessarily involved in rice production. Okay, their job is involved in the finishing process and the bagging. So rice can be brought in all shapes and sizes, in all forms. So they are going to sieve this rice, they are going to boil it in order to give it a lighter texture. Most of the rice we eat has already been boiled before we even parboil it. It has been parboiled, but not in a way to damage it. Part of this parboiling would help to, to wash, to clean the rice. Part of a lot of the foreign rice we eat that looks so nice have already been parboiled to a certain degree, which then give them this shiny look and nice texture and feel. So these are some of the things that the mill would do in order to make the rice more attractive to the local market. So the governor of Lagos State, while speaking during the commissioning of this Imotta rice mill, told the public that the Imotta rice mill is the first of its kind in Nigeria. Its machines were basically being produced by a German firm, one of the leading firms in the world in rice processing. These guys were co-opted to help construct and set up the Imotta rice mill. These guys do not just ship their equipment down to Nigeria. They also send some personnel to help with the um, installation of these machines in the factory in order to aid in production. So these machines have been installed to suit the Nigerian ecosystem. So just like the cars being made in Nigeria and the assembly plant located in Nigeria are making cars to suit the Nigerian terrain. So there's a way our country is. There's a way our roads are. There's a way we have our topography and our landscape. So things needs to be produced in this country in order to best satisfy the needs within the country. So these guys came over down to Lagos to set up the the machines and the production lines in a way that would better serve the Nigerian economy. Okay, so it's not just shipping things over here and asking us to use things that may not favor, but a lot was being put into place to ensure that everything that is done and that has been done is sustainable. It is on this ground that the Lagos State government went ahead to partner with Southwest Agricultural Company and some farmers in the north to ensure constant supply of rice paddies to this plant. And it also went ahead to get involved with WACOT, WACOT, one of the country's leading producers of premium rice brands in the country. So all this is being done in order to ensure steady supply of rice to this mill and to ensure rice supply to the Nigerian economy. So this is where we're going to end for today's video. Is amazing and amazing, amazing. In fact, the Lagos State government has done a lot. First, by building this rice mill, these are the major ones. Okay, these are not all of what he has done by building the Lagos Blue Rail Line, but even the jetty. So Lagos State equally has a jetty, a water transport system where people can be transported across water. And he's trying to do that in an international way and to meet international standards in order to ensure safety when traveling via water. So a lot has been done in this regard, and we congratulate the Lagos State Governor and we give him all the accolade he deserves. We're happy for what we're seeing here, and we are very sure that people of Lagos are glad for what they have equally been seeing. So this is the end of today's video. I hope you liked what you heard, and I would like you to equally, if you're in Lagos, check out the mill, make videos, enjoy, get on the train and enjoy the services that are being offered. Until we meet again, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.